What's up guys, ATCZ here, welcome back. Today we have the Sacred Beast structure deck opening. I think that this deck is actually really good value because it has a lot of good reprints. I'm going to show you exactly which cards that I think were actually that Konami thought about reprinting in this deck. It's not the best deck to be able to build a deck if you just buy 3 copies of it, but I'm going to try that in this video too. So first I'm going to open one of them, and then I'm going to open off camera the other two, and I'm going to show you probably the most optimal build you can have by just getting these structure decks, not including any other card you can have. Of course, you can include other cards, you can make the deck better, but for those new players out there that are just looking to pick up the deck, if you just buy 3 copies of it, then you can build a pretty decent deck in order to be able to compete. It's pretty cool that Konami is actually trying to give us all these old archetypes, like not really an archetype because like Sacred Beasts were never truly an archetype, they were never meant to be played as one deck, they were just like having their individuals win condition because their summoning condition were a bit weird. So we have the playmat. I think this playmat would look really cool. Oh, this is not, yeah. Here it is. I don't know if you can see it, but it would be really nice as a rubber playmat. So I'm looking forward to picking this up when they release it for the structure deck day. So I managed to open it, so let's see what it has. So this first card is basically, they try to print all the attacks from the Sacred Beasts to basically being a new card. So this is Raviel's attack, Shimmer Scraper. So it's a monster, and Uriah is a trap, and Hamon is a spell, depending on what they need. So this is actually a card that's not worth playing in the deck. You play Cerulean Skyfire, but this card, unfortunately, is not good enough. So you have the Sacred Beasts. They printed these on foil. I think maybe we would have put this as common, it would be better, and give us the actual archetype cards as foils, because you can get these as foils if you want to. It's not very difficult to get them. Same with Harmatile, I mean, just like, yeah, give us a common one and put more cards. So like cards like Cerulean Skyfire and Hyper Blaze and Dimension Fusion Destruction are supers, but when you go to the rest of the new cards like Chaos Score, the Dark Beckoning Beast, and Chaos Summoning Beast, which you play these, of course, in your deck, actually play these if you play competitively. This is a more casual build, but it's fun if you want to play Harmatile. But it would have been fine if these were supers and we just have common Sacred Beasts, because you can get them as ultras from Dusa or ultis. It's very easy to get foil ones. Dark Summoning Beast, this exists in foil. So now some Yugioh cards like Phantom of Chaos and Phantom Sky Blaster, because basically Yugioh was the one that was using the Sacred Beast during the later episodes of GX, so they print a lot of Yugioh cards in here. Mother Loader, I have no idea what is here. Grave Screamer, another Yugioh card. Rainbow Dark Dragon, she used it too. Tragoedia, haven't seen this card for quite a while. Radiant is actually a really good reprint. I don't think this card has a reprint, so I think it was good that Konami decided to put this in here. Chaos Counter, I think it was okay. Puppet Master, I think the hype has died for this card because it had some type for DDDs, but not anymore. But it's still a good card. Stygian. Farfa is a good reprint because this card actually had a price. It was like 4 or 5 euros. I think it was a decent card. I think Cherburl was actually a nice one too. Favorites. Chupacabra is kind of random, but danger, why not? Yeah, and cards like these, like opening the Spirit Gates, could have been foil. Fallen Paradise. Phantasm Martyrs, give the tokens, don't run this in deck. Spell Chronicles, another Yugioh card. Terraforming. Set Rotation. This is also a good reprint, Mound of the Bond Creator. This will also be useful for any of you who are trying to pick up the rare cards once they're released. 1 for 1. Beginning of the End. This had a very cheap reprint in any of the, I think what was one of the Speed Duel sets, but it's fun to just have one copy of it without having the Speed Duel letters in here. Desires. We have another common Desires from the Endymion, but it's fine. Owner's Seal. This is another good reprint, Field Barrier, for any of you trying to play Mystic Mine. This is actually a really good card because it had a price too. Swords of Concealing. MST, pretty standard in every deck, I think. Sacred Beast Awakening, pretty good card. Escape from a Dark Dimension. Shape Sister. This is another good reprint, Imperial Custom. Mistake, also an old card that I haven't seen for a while. Dark Factory of More Production. This card is, actually, if you've read Arc 5 manga, this is Eve's version of Harmatile. She was the final villain of the manga, and she was using different versions of monsters of like villains. She used Time Lord Progenitor. She used this too. And 2 tokens. So yeah, this is the tokens you summon from the spell card, and this is the token you summon with Raviel's effect. So you can have both if you want, but don't run the spell, so you'll not need this. So yeah, I think it's a pretty decent structure deck. It's not the most competitive one, archetype-wise, of course, but it has some good reprints. And right now I will just open the other two off camera, and I will try to show you a deck just using just these cards. So here's the deck. I actually managed to do something with it. It's a bit weird, but I think it's fine if you can just learn how to play it a bit. But there are some cards that I think are necessary and they're not too expensive. The one card I'm going to mention a lot is Almiraz. If you can afford an Almiraz, just do it. It offers a lot for the deck, but this is just a deck using only cards on a structure deck, so here we go. So I played 2 copies of each of the Sacred Beasts because I play Desires. The card isn't here, so it's a very powerful card, so I decided to play it, but it forces me to play some ratios that I would not in an actual deck. But for this deck, just play 2 of each, even if they're not very optimal. Actually, Raviel and Hamon are fine as 2-offs. Uriah is the one that is not the best because it can't get attacked very easily in this deck, because you don't play a lot of traps. I actually just play the 1 trap for the deck that is actually worth playing. So yeah, but just have these. You can summon Armityle, which is basically the win condition for this version of the deck. So you need to have access to all 3 of them. Next, we'll play, of course, the good cards of the deck. Play 3 Chaos Summoning Beast. I've already explained what all of these does in any of our other profiles. If you want to check out how to play the deck or what the cards do, you can either read the cards or just go to one of the other deck profiles we have, and you'll find out. 3 Dark Beckoning Beast, of course, pretty standard. 3 Dark Summoning Beast. 3 Chaos Core. This is not a card I would run in a competitive version, but again, you need to play Armityle as a win condition for this deck because you don't have anything really good to go. Just play a beater deck, so you need to use this card's effect to get access to all 3 Sacred Beasts, and this is why I'm saying Almiraz is really good. This is 1 card and another card, because you can target this card with Almiraz to use its effect. That's why it's really good for the deck. 2 Radiant, just because there are Kaiju in this deck, just have something for going second. Now for the spells, this is another reason Almiraz is really good, opening the Spirit Gates, because you need to get a monster to the grave to get this card's full value to bring back something, so you need to have a valid target in order to discard your Dark Summoning Beast and bring it back, and you cannot do that if you don't play Almiraz. 3 Cerulean Skyfire, pretty good. Sends pretty much negate everything by switching your Hamon to defense mode, and it has a clutch effect that people don't know about. If just Hamon gets destroyed, you basically don't take damage for the rest of the turn. So they tried to put stuff from the anime and just make it into cards, and this was an effect that Hamon had in the anime. 3-Dimension Fusion Destruction, because again, like I said, Armityle is your win condition. You don't have a lot going for you, so you need to play 3. You can play Anaconda if you have it to just play 1 copy and get access to it whenever you want, but for this deck you need to see it. 2 Fallen Paradise, because I play Desires. I would only play 1 normally, but with Desire you need to have access to it at all times. Speaking of Desires, play 3. I think you need to play 3 copies of just a powerful card. There's debate playing 2 or 3, but I think 3 is necessary, especially if you're trying to play a deck like this. 2 MST, just have some backup removal. 1 for 1 is a way to put a monster in the graveyard without Almiraz, but unfortunately it's at 1, so it's not very consistent to see it. But if you can do it, then you can have a way to use your Spirit Gate's second effect without needing Almiraz. And 3 Awakening of the Sacred Beasts, because this card is absolute busted. It has no non-effect even for normal summons. It's a skill drain for your opponent if you have 2, and it's a Macrocosmos if you have 3. And it's not very consistent for 3, but we can very easily summon 2. And the win con, Armityle, just summon this either the proper way, but most probably you're going to summon this with Dimension Fusion Destruction, because that's the easiest way. 10k beater, just run over anything and you pretty much win the duel. The Utopia double of the deck. So yeah, again, this deck is not a bad structure deck. Konami had really stepped up their game with structure decks. I think that recently we're getting a lot better ones. Yeah, I know some are not as competitive as others, but some are meant to be competitive, some are meant to please the casual base. They're just trying to get a bit of both worlds by just putting 1 at a time when they're trying to get something good from the anime. And I think this is really fun because they can just make sure that everyone is pleased, and they're doing it just fine. So, yep. Again, if you're a fan of the Sacred Beasts, I really recommend the structure deck. It's really, really good. You're going to have a lot of fun with it. The deck is consistent, the deck is fun, it gives you the nostalgia that you want from the GX era. So, yep, go buy the deck, guys. It's really good. If you want to see more of these with structure decks, with boosters, anything, just subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our videos. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.